One afternoon, I arrived home much earlier than usual, expecting nothing more than a quiet house and a chance to surprise my wife with her favorite takeout. My last appointment had been canceled, so I thought it'd be a sweet gesture, grab her favorite Thai food, maybe steal a few unexpected hours together. The kind of small, warm moments that remind you why you chose someone in the first place. I didn't call ahead. I just walked in, humming to myself, keys jingling in one hand, the bag of food in the other. The house greeted me with a soft scent of vanilla and the low hum of jazz from a speaker in the kitchen. Baxter, our golden retriever, lifted his head but didn't bark. Everything seemed normal at first, but as I stepped inside, a strange quiet settled over me. The door had been left unlocked. One of her shoes lay abandoned near the stairs, and the usual cheerful, "Babe, that you?" never came. I started toward our bedroom, mind idly rehearsing what I'd say when I walked in and caught her off guard with my little surprise. But the surprise was mine. I nudged the door open and took 2 steps, and before my heart stopped, there she was. There they were, her body tangled up with his face buried against her, both of them frozen the moment they saw me. Except he didn't see me, not right away. He was too caught up in himself, too lost in the moment to notice the man standing there watching the scene unfold. When his voice broke the silence, still caught in his pleasure, that's when everything inside me snapped. I can't tell you when I dropped the food. I can't tell you when I grabbed him. I just remember the blur of dragging him off her, the sound of his body hitting the floor, the frantic stammering as he tried to cover his nakedness and his shame. And I remember the way my fists found him once, twice. I don't know how many times, until I saw enough fear in his eyes to satisfy whatever storm had erupted inside me. I pulled him, bleeding, humiliated, through the house and out the front door. I didn't care who saw. Let them see. Let them all see. She stood at the top of the stairs, clutching a sheet around herself, tears streaming, begging me to listen. But I couldn't. Not yet. The betrayal was too fresh, too raw. I went to the kitchen, picked up the takeout I brought, and tossed it in the trash. Every dish I'd picked with care smashed into ruin at the bottom of the bin, a mirror of what I felt inside. Then, in the quiet of my own fury, I packed. 10 minutes was all it took to gather what mattered. My passport, some clothes, a photo of my mother, and my dignity. She tried again to speak, to explain, but I stopped her with a raised hand. No more. No screaming, no fighting. I told her calmly that she'd made her choice. Now I was making mine. And with that, I walked out without slamming the door. The absence of that final bang was louder than any words I could have thrown at her. What followed wasn't rage, wasn't chaos. It was precision. I disappeared. No dramatic announcements, no pleas for sympathy. I stayed with an old friend, locked down our accounts, froze everything we once shared. I let the emptiness she created settle into her world, like a cold wind through a broken window. The vow renewal we'd been planning, canceled. The future she thought she'd have, gone. And then, when the silence had done its work, I let the truth come out, not with bitterness, but with clarity. The evidence I'd gathered, messages, recordings, sent quietly to the people who mattered in her world. No commentary, no insults, just facts. And as the walls of her perfect image crumbled, I stayed silent, watching the fallout from a distance. Her friends turned cold. Her job, her social standing, her carefully polished world, all slipping through her fingers. And still I said nothing, until she couldn't take it anymore. The messages came, tearful voicemails, desperate texts. Apologies, please, promises she'd never thought she'd need to make. But I didn't answer. I let her sit in the ruins she'd built. Let her learn that sometimes the loudest response is no response at all. Eventually, even the man she'd thrown it all away for revealed himself for what he was, a fraud, a liar, another source of betrayal. And in the end, she stood alone, facing the reflection of every bad choice she'd made. As for me, I moved on, truly moved on, built a new life in peace, with no more lies weighing me down. And when the final message came, full of regret and sorrow, I read it, felt nothing but closure, and let it go. Because the greatest victory wasn't in destroying her, it was in freeing myself.